at least
No,
within
right?
the first 24 hours. I'll put a
Or we
thumbnail
like,
up on it. Even if I jump on somebody else's panel, I will do a live. I mean, I will
yeah,
do a. All right, so we're live.
we're
So we're
live.
gonna wait a couple minutes, and we're gonna see who comes in the room. You know, but at the same time, you sitting there munching down, brother. What are you doing? You the host. I'm not the host. You the host. You supposed to be having some things to talk about. You know, warming the crowd up. You know.
All right, guys. Getting the live going. We today, today. I apologize, guys. I'm eating. I got up late. But anyway, we're gonna get it together professionally very soon. Yeah. So we have a special guest today, Mr. Ronan, the Traveler, in the building. Yay, yay.
Yay,
Um,
yay.
one of one of the legends in the game, man. Up and coming channel. He definitely has put in his travel work. He has plenty of military experience. He has plenty of life experience. And he has, excuse me for saying, sir, one of the most beautiful Filipinas I ever seen in my life. I mean, straight
Oh
up and
wow.
down.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So tell the people a little bit about yourself, like your history, your background, and what has you more interested in the Filipinas versus anything else.
All right. I don't know if that link is going to show up in the chat. You might have to share the link. I'm gonna remove it.
Mm.
But anyway, I'm Ronin Travelers, and I've been traveling since the age of about 2.5, 3 years old. So I'm 56 right now.
Mm.
So my mom had a thing where we were traveling. We're always going to different restaurants. We always tried different foods. She made sure that we were well versed, depending on whatever career we had. We had a variety of experiences. So I was born in Baltimore, Maryland. So flying out of
Baltimore,
Baltimore,
yeah.
flying out of Baltimore, Maryland, it's a easier place to kind of fly to the Caribbean. So, Jamaica, Bahamas, Puerto Rico, those are the places where I frequented as a child, in my travel space when I started traveling initially. And so, interesting story. One of the places I learned how to swim, Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, we were in a resort environment and we were at the kiddie pool, me and my brother, who was 2 years older than me, in the kiddie pool. And my mom calls me over to the resort big pool, right?
Mm.
And she wants to talk to me. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll run over there. What you want? Dripping all over her and shit, as kids do,
Yes, sir.
and she had already prearranged with the lifeguard because that was back in the day when they had lifeguards at resorts and shit for the pool,
Mm.
you know, um, early to late 60s and early 70s. Um, so she says, today's the day. I kind of looked at her and was like, what you mean by that? So she stood up, grabbed me by the hand, and was walking by the pool with me like we were going to go get something to eat. She picked me up and threw me in the middle of the deep end.
That's how I learned how to swim.
Yeah. Picked me up, threw me in the middle of the deep end of the pool, and said, swim. So I was like, doggy paddling, kicking, and doing my thing. And I didn't freak out. Not once. I didn't freak out. I didn't go in the water. I wasn't drowning. I started kicking my feet and stroking and keeping myself kind of like hovering in the water. So
Mm.
then I was doing that for a while and everybody's sitting there amazed because I didn't even go under once. And then I said, I'm getting tired. And she goes, okay, well, lean towards the side of the pool and stroke over to the pool and I'll grab you and pull you out. So she literally let me swim over to the side of the pool to where I was able to get pulled out of the deep end. She
Mm.
pulled me out, and literally everybody around the pool started clapping for me. I was like, what the hell is going on? Kind of medieval shit is this? I went back over to the kiddie pool, was like kind of stunned. But she said after she pulled me out, she goes, you will never be afraid of water again after today. And you have already faced one of your fears in life.
Yes.
I was like, wow. I never thought it. Years later, I thought about it. But when I was a kid, it didn't mean anything to me. But as I replayed it several times in my head, it set me up for life of
Yes.
learning how to keep myself above water and not letting the stress of life get to me to a point where it started to tear me down.
Tear you down. And shout out to your mom. Not saying this disrespectfully, but shout out to your mom for having the chest hair to throw you in the fucking water. Yeah.
I did that to my kids. Each one of my kids, I did the same thing. Wow. Same thing. And I have 4 sons.
Yes, sir.
All ranging from the age of 26 to 38. One by my high school sweetheart, and then the other 4 was from my other 3 were from my my first wife of 7 years. I've been married twice. I had a second wife where I became a stepfather. So when you go on my channel and I speak to marriages and whether it's worth being a stepfather versus a regular father and all those things, I speak on those things. I raised that kid from the age of 8 until he had graduated high school and started going to junior college, and I raised her son, which is, and I say it, her son, even though he respected me, it still wasn't my legacy. I had her son, father, fall back in love with his own son, which he initially denied and told her to go get a abortion over. I was sending from Pop Warner, because he was 8. I was sending videos from his Pop Warner games from the time that he was 8 years old. When I first saw him, because he was such a stout kid, a solid kid. First time I met him, we arranged this kind of like group date because I was dating his mom for a while, and she finally wanted to introduce me to her son because I'm the type of father too, because I already have my kids. Right. You're not meeting my sons until I know we're in a solid relationship. Everybody don't get to meet my kids. I don't bring my kids around people, so I would never allow her to bring her son around me until we were like that. So one of our first arranged like group setting dates was we all went to Disneyland. And I mean, we went from the morning, this is in California, we went from the morning all the way until the fireworks went off. So it was a long day. So by the time the fireworks going off, it's the first time I literally tried to pick this kid up. We hung around, kidded around. I played with him, all that. She saw how I interacted with him and all that, and it wasn't a big deal. So fireworks are coming up, and it's always a big crowd of people trying to look up and see the fireworks. He's just a little guy. So I go to pick him up. I'm like putting him on my shoulders. I'm like, God damn, this kid is a rock. I don't know why she don't got this boy in football.
Same thing.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, let me get this kid in football. And I sponsored him in Pop Warner from the time that I met her before we even got married. We went to every one of his football games, practices, obviously, all the way up until, junior high school. I was the announcer because we were married by then. I had announced for his football games. I was also a booster club member, sponsored the football team for a lot of different things in both football and basketball. Announced for the basketball team as well. So I supported him and his mother for our almost 10 years of marriage. The minute I got divorced, the minute we got divorced, I never heard from this kid. He was married. He did everything properly. Went to college. Didn't have a kid until after he was married. Married to one of his girls that he met from high school. Wow. They're married to this day. They have a son, I believe, because I never even got to meet the kid. So here's where it comes in. The honor used to be in marrying a single mother and being a good, loyal stepfather and a good husband to that single mother. It's not worth it anymore. The loyalty is out the window. You're using your assets and your resources for another man's legacy.
Right.
So at the end of the day, as I counsel young men on different lives and the different things I talk about, It is not my first choice to tell a young man to go and marry a single mother.
at all.
Unfortunately, that woman did what she did to have that child, but it's not that man's responsibility to take care of another man's legacy,
It's not
because that's exactly what you're doing. You're spending money and resources on another man's legacy,
on another man's sperm.
pretty much.
You know, I got married at 19 myself
Mhm.
to a 35-year-old.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, and she had one child. And boy, but I'm not saying this disrespectfully, but at
Mhm.
least the father had passed away, so I didn't have to deal with that. But it was not a great situation, you
Mm-mm.
know, at
You're
all.
still, again, you're still maintaining a legacy for a father that might have passed on, but that's not your blood at the end of the day. There's
Nope.
a reason why, even in the wild, certain animals kill off the offspring of their predecessor. Exactly. And I'm not saying that's humane in this time and age, but at a situation, women used to be chased. It used to be frowned upon for a woman to have a child. Women would disappear for months on end if they were pregnant, have a child, and either leave it at an adoption agency, or another family member back in the day would adopt that child as their own because they might have had an aunt or an uncle that could not have children.
Exactly.
But now
Exactly.
it's so acceptable. You have people and families where there's single mothers that are 2 or 3 deep with children and never been
More than
married
that.
once, and never been married once.
Not at all. Not once.
But that's acceptable now. And see, that's where society is starting to get off the rocker of morality and ethics, and turn towards the dark side of life, and the different things that are going on now.
I my dating experiences had always been single mothers for the most part. What got me into travel? I was 17. I bumped into a woman from LA who had 2 kids already. And when me and her met, she was already pregnant, but she didn't tell me she was pregnant. And she allowed me to think that she was pregnant by me. My
Of
mom
course.
told me, yes,
Hmm.
tricked me good. And I was so in love. I was so down for this woman, and my mom was able to see it. My dad was able to see it. Like this is not your baby, you know.
Hmm.
And I just swore it, but not because I was lighting the club up, you know. But yeah, thank God that situation got sorted out before any money got paid, any certificates got signed. Cause I was ready to sign on the dotted line. I just swore that was my little baby, you know. But I'm
Oh,
gonna
they'll
get
have you convinced all day long. That's your kid. What you going? Why are you trying to do this and that and the other thing?
oh yeah.
Nah, chick, that is not my kid.
At 17 years old, and she was what,
You
31?
want right, you want me to be a sponsor. That's
Yep.
what you want me to be.
So, seeing I'm a young fella coming from the farm,
Hmm.
I got a good upbringing with my father and my mother,
You're
married,
reliable,
reliable, exact,
consistent. So they
consistent.
look for that.
Exactly. When she started off with a drug dealer, her first baby father was a drug dealer.
See,
You
when
know.
you start saying first, meaning there's multiple different fathers, that's
Yes.
already showing you an intent to continue to redo the life lessons she should have learned from the first time.
Right. Three kids in, 3 different fathers.
Hell to the no.
Yep. And
Okay.
that and I continued that journey up until recently. I finally stopped being a knucklehead and got away from that. You know, but that's one of the pitfalls of life. And I'm not saying it can't happen outside the United States, because God knows it is an outrageous amount of single mothers outside of the US.
A lot of countries are having the same problem. Same
Yes.
problem. I mean, I told you briefly offline I was planning on moving to the Philippines. Philippines has a high rate of single motherhood too,
Ridiculous.
and a high rate of STDs.
Whew.
And it's religious based because a lot of Filipinos are Catholics,
And they
and
don't
they're
like using
devout Catholic. They don't talk about this. They don't talk about contraception
contraception.
and safe sex, so that they can prevent those types of sexually transmitted diseases and having babies. You know, so a lot of women don't even know about birth control because it's not discussed or it's frowned upon to even talk about it. Plus, it's an insult to a lot of Filipinos if you try to wear a condom because they're thinking you're saying they're unclean, like they're loose, and
I've
they don't want to be
experienced
looked like that. Yeah.
I've experienced that myself. The Philippines is a different world. My God, it's a
Mhm.
great world, but it's a different world.
It absolutely is.
You know, same thing in Africa. You
Hmm.
know, the religion base and the condom thing. Uh, I don't know, man. You know, it depends on if you're a fan of using a condom or not, a rubber or not. You know, that's solely based on your own situation. But if
I
you
mean,
are,
you either are or you aren't. It don't matter. I'm going to tell you as a father to anybody that's listening, put it on regardless until you know she's the one.
oh
And
yeah,
y'all actually got a ring on each other's fingers and made a commitment. Other than that, don't take a chance, brothers. I'm trying to tell you, child support is a pain in the ass. Her leveraging that kid in order to obligate you to do this, that, and the other thing before you can get to see your kid. You wind up having a happy relationship. She gets envious over that because she still got your kid as a reminder, but yet until she see you out there having fun and single
oh
with
yeah.
no obligation. To her mind, you have no obligation, even though you might be paying your child support on time, even though you might be a good father getting them every other weekend and the things you need to do. They still not going to like the fact that you're having a happy life with somebody else.
At all. You know, and the thing about it, let's say if you do take care of your child and she has other children, she expects you usually to take care of the other children as well.
Right.
You know, if you bring your child something, well, why you didn't bring the other children something? Those aren't my
Oh,
children.
yeah. Yeah. There's been several videos on that and big time discussions online over videos where chicks were trying to film dudes and embarrass them. And it winds up backfiring on them because they're looking like the ones that are the assholes, trying to hold a man accountable when he's trying to do the best thing for his own child because she's had several other kids by other men.
Right. Man. And I don't understand this whole shame culture behind it. Why you want to shame a man for taking care of his child? It wasn't his responsibility to take care of all those children. He did not make those children. He made that child or those couple of kids.
Right.
Hmm.
You're right.
Uh,
So,
me, sir.
no, I was just going through my history. And so, you know, I did that, married twice. I've been divorced now since 2016. And one of the things, even with in my own time in service, I was a Marine. I had done military for 8 years almost. I would have done 20 if I could have, but my brother was shot and killed. So I decided to get out after being in the Gulf War and then being in Somalia. I could see the writing on the wall back then in the 90s that it was going to progressively get worse, which I was right. And I didn't want to put my mom through that because my mom had 6 children and I
Wow.
was the last surviving child at that point when my mother was killed. So I told the general I was stationed in Hawaii at the time.
Yes,
I
sir.
said I would like to be discharged. You know, I'm going to be going home in 4 days. I'd like to be able to pack everything up and go home and stay for these reasons. And I had already done 8 years anyway, straight up. So I
Yes, sir.
didn't have any reserve time or anything that I was required to have to do. So
Mm.
base general agreed and let me out within 3 days. It took for me to pack, do my exit interviews, my exit medical, gave me whatever little service connection they started me off with, and sent me on my way. Allowed me to get out.
Wow.
You know,
Nice.
and I was in the middle of my second enlistment. I enlisted for 6 years, my first enlistment, and I just re up for another 4. Vlog Tripping is one of my guys. I just sent out notices to let people know I'm all alive because I can't simulcast right now.
Okay.
But I wanted other people to join in and contribute to your channel. Hey, Vlog, this is one of our new community members and one of the YouTube channels that we're on WhatsApp. But he's a good brother. Matter of fact, Vlog Tripping has been going to Africa a lot. So y'all might want to link up because this brother has been in Africa. He's going back to Africa right now. He's in TJ, but he's going to be going back to Africa pretty quick here. Vlog. So
Yes,
I don't know what areas where you in. Matter of fact, he's a African national, if I can say that.
Oh yeah, I've been to like 11 different countries in Africa. I started my journey. I was going to Rwanda. Then I ended up going to Congo, Burundi, Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya. Then ended up going down towards South Africa, and I flew into Johannesburg. Then I went to Zimbabwe, Zambia, Namibia, Malawi, and so on and so on. So I told myself when I was like 10 years old, I'm going to go to Africa one day. And I said that to my mom. My mom said, "Why would you want to go to Africa?" I said, "Mom, what's wrong with Africa? Aren't we from Africa?" She got silent. and we never picked that conversation back up again until I decided to go. What actually made me decide to go, I had lost my walking for 8 months. I literally could not walk for 8 whole months. I had got MS, multiple sclerosis.
Oh wow! Sorry to hear that. Sounds like you're doing really good though.
Oh yeah, I'm able to walk now, but that was my motivating factor. Once I was able to get out of that bed, I started walking and building up my strength. And once I felt comfortable, I told my mom and dad, "I'm going to Africa." And like, "Son, no. I said, "Mom, I don't know how much longer I have to live. This proves to me right here. I told you when I was 10 years old, I wanted to go to Africa. I'm now in my mid 30s. I'm going to Africa." They no longer debated me on the situation. I had their blessing. They made sure I got to the airport. I flew out of Atlanta to JFK. Then from JFK to oh my God,
what was your first? Where is in the Middle East? Where you talking about? Dubai, Qatar?
Qatar. I flew to
Qatar.
Qatar, and then from Qatar onto Kigali, Rwanda as they call it.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So that was my first initial journey into Africa, and I love it to the point that I want to have my life there. I want to build my life in Africa. So I definitely love and respect Africa. Africa is a part of me, and I'm never letting it go. I do love Central America, but at the same time, Africa is more my thing. I love the Philippines.
Hey, you need to watch your chat, man. Your chat is talking to you. Like, where's the best nightlife in Africa that you've been to so far?
Oh, I'm sorry. Best nightlife in Africa, I would say, depending on what you're into, but South Africa, Johannesburg has some of the best nightlife in Africa. Kenya as well. Wow, I'm sorry. I'm brand new to this. So I'm
struggle through it, man. We struggle streaming. That's all. It's all good.
That's it. We gonna get into our technician thing a little bit later on.
So
I'm struggle straight right
he said something about Adidas Baba. Do you know what that is?
Yes, sir. That is Ethiopia. I have a friend of mine who's a little bit more versed in Ethiopia, but I will eventually go there. I can't really tell you very much on it, but I know it's a nice area from what my friend says.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Let me see.
But go ahead and continue with your story.
Oh, okay.
He said Nairobi is the best city for nightlife so far that he's experienced.
Yes, sir. I do agree. Nairobi is king, or as they call it, Nairobi.
Are you serious? Is that bad?
I was serious.
I ain't never heard nothing like that. So you telling me something new?
Come up here. You know, so I would definitely suggest that you take the proper travel precautions with having on your gear, whether it's hidden underwear, hidden belt, multiple layers of clothes, whatever works for
What
you.
kind of gear you need to hide? Wait a minute, hold up, slow down. What you mean hide gear? What gear? What do you mean gear?
So, so by gear, travel gear like travel shirts, travel pants, travel belt to hide your money, to
Oh, so
hide.
you need a money belt or something to hide certain things.
Yes, sir.
They're not
Yes.
going to pick that up in the X-ray, the body scan. They don't have body scans in Africa like that.
No. I'm not saying for that. What I'm saying is
Oh,
when you're
when you're out
out,
in town and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, when you're out and about walking,
Oh, okay.
you know, cause once somebody goes in your pocket and slips your wallet or your phone out, they're gone. You're never going to see them again.
How long ago has it been since you've been in Nairobi? Because he said he
Uh,
didn't experience that.
blog. No, I'm just saying in general. I never had anything bad happen to me like that in Africa. I'm just
Mhm.
saying it
In
can.
general, depending on all the places you've been, yeah.
Yep, in general. The only place I experienced being having my personal belongings negotiated from me unwillingly was Tijuana.
Where you're at right now.
Where I'm at right now. And that was years ago. And that was the beginning that introduced me to the Passport Bros. So shout out QB Willie. You know, much love to him. You know, he showed me a lot. He came to my aid. He definitely brought me out the hole. Yeah, so definitely shout out to him. But I do have story time coming on that, guys. And we're going to be getting better with this. So this is, like I said, this is brand new. I'm not going to keep making excuses on it, but brand new to this. But but yes, but watch your phone around. Yes, you must watch your phone, personal belongings around motorbikes, because what they will do is they will have a guy sitting on the back specifically to grab your items, and they're going like and hopefully your moto driver isn't in connection with them, to help set you up. So if you're riding along, vlogging, got your phone, boom, they grab it, they're gone, out of there. And if you're not paying attention, or if your moto driver is not part of that quote unquote um negotiating unwilling negotiation of your belongings, he may speed up to help catch him or may not.
Mhm.
It depends on how the connection is with him.
Okay.
Yes,
He's
sir.
saying Nairobi is a cashless society now. So you say you
Oh,
never had any problems.
oh yeah. Yeah. So they are going towards a digital currency, to where they transfer money by phone. It's they have a network called Airtel, and the transfer of money is called Momo. So they use Momo to transfer the money. Me personally, I did carry cash on me. I use Airtel as well, but I more so use that towards Zambia. I use that more so in Zambia, but I will get more versed with the cashless transactions later on. But you do need cash on you for certain situations, quote unquote. If you guys get what I'm saying.
Right.
But you know what? You don't even necessarily need cash directly. But I think cash is a more uh, valid negotiating tool. You know, than just pulling out the
And
phone.
it's always good to have a couple bucks on you just in case you run into a situation where, that those couple bucks could actually get you out of a situation versus keep you deep in it because they're
Exactly,
looking for money that you ain't got. You
exactly,
know.
exactly. Yeah, guys. Uh, Let me see. Let me see.
You supposed to be interviewing me. I'm just sitting here, bro. You need to tell me. I'm kind of running this, and I'm not supposed to. So
Okay. I apologize once again. Okay, so when you go to the Philippines,
mhm.
um, what type? No. What is going to be your process from beginning until end? You think of going to the Philippines?
I mean, I am going to the Philippines to retire. There are some other motivations.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I had to wash
No,
my.
no. There are some other motivations, but I am going to retire and develop a couple more income streams. Um, so while I'm there, I'll be looking for property to finalize possibly a relationship. But again, there are 1,001 single Filipinas there. If one doesn't work out, there's always others. But right now I'm in a good situation with the girl I'm dating and or looking forward to having a relationship with. So only time will tell with that. But ultimately, I'm going for myself. It's a good jump off point because unfortunately, while the United States has a lot of advantages, it is in the middle of nowhere technically when you're trying to get somewhere. It's easier to fly out of other countries than it is to fly out of the United States sometimes to get somewhere, and a lot cheaper. So that's one of the other factors. If I'm going to go around Southeast Asia and other countries, sometimes it's easier to fly out of the Philippines or a connecting flight to maybe Singapore if you're going to Europe or someplace like that versus flying out of the United States trying to get there. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Um, so as far, how would you structure your trip to Philippines? Are you going to leave out of San Francisco, LA?
Mhm. I'm
Uh,
in North Houston, where I live at, and there's George Bush International Airport here.
sir.
And there's a Canadian airline called EVA, is EVA. And that airline flies directly from Houston right into Taipei. So I only have one layover in Taipei. And so I'll fly right in from Houston, right into Taipei, and from Taipei to Manila.
Wow.
So I won't have to go because I thought maybe I had to catch a flight to San Francisco or maybe even New York or somewhere on the East Coast and catch a flight out of there, or at least I was going to have to land on one of those two areas in order to pick up more passengers before we would leave to go all the way over there. Houston actually will fly straight into Taipei from here.
Because they have direct flights from San Francisco to Cebu.
Yeah, I know about those, and they just opened up a couple other ones. I think in L.A. LA just opened up a terminal for international flights for specifically the Philippines because they were in. I follow a lot of the Filipino news now and a lot of the YouTubers there too. So always do your research. So I'm always constantly following the law changes for immigration, different things like that. So once I land, this first trip is just to establish some areas I'll be interested in possibly moving to, beside for my girlfriend's area. In case something happens, you always got to have a backup of certain areas that you want to live in. So I'll be moving around the Philippines this first time, some by myself and some to go meet with her and her parents. And then I'll be flying home back to Houston. I'm going to try to go around New Year's again and surprise her for New Year's. And then in May of 2025, I should be permanent resident there in the Philippines. Everything here in Houston packed up in a shipping container on its way over to the island.
Wow. Oh my God. That's a beautiful thing. The longest the longest I've been able to maintain myself leaving America at a time is 3 months at a time. Um, you usually I don't like to take a trip that far unless I'm going at least a month. But Africa, each time I've gone, I spent 3 months. Um, Let me see. When I went to Asia, I spent 3 months. My first, how I ended up getting into long travel, my first time leaving outside of the, uh, my first time having to take a trip to fly was Dominican Republic.
Mm-hmm.
I flew to Santo Domingo, and I had 7 days. When I say those 7 days were up, I
Fast.
literally got on my knees and cried on the plane.
I've
I'm
heard
not
about some
lying.
of you guys. I heard about you guys that start crying and weeping because y'all got to come back to the States after that kind of an experience.
Come back and get into a semi truck, and I literally cried like I said to myself from that point on, I'm not going anywhere unless I can spend a month. And so I started working and um, trying to figure out how could I squeeze a month here, possible 3 months. If the job I had, if I could say screw it and be like, okay, I work this amount of time, I'm out. I can come back and get another job. You know, I understand some people may not have that luxury. Um, and God bless you if you don't. Universe bless you if you don't. But if you can throw caution to the wind and go, do it, man. You got one life. You There's no practice run. You got to enjoy it, cause I haven't met anybody yet that has gotten up off that ground and came and said this was going on the other side. So I got to enjoy this side while I can. You know.
Right, right.
Yes, sir. Wow. So, what has been your favorite country so far?
Wow. I've been to 24 countries. And I always told myself, believe it or not, if I could not live in the United States any longer, where would the first country be that I would want to live in? And to me, to this point, Australia has always been the other place I would live. I
What
loved
part of
Australia.
Australia?
Huh?
What part of Australia?
Perth, the Perth side.
Perth. Oh,
The
Perth.
Perth
Okay,
side. Yes, not the Sydney side, the Perth side.
Perth.
Yeah. Which I haven't been to New Zealand yet. I feel like I would feel real at home like in New Zealand because of the tribal people that are there.
Yes, sir.
Because I really felt at home when I lived in Hawaii because of the Samoans.
Oh yeah.
I identified with those people very well. I blended in with them. My kids looked like they were little Samoan kids anyway, but yeah, I would think Australia so far. Obviously, I'm going to the Philippines, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to blend in with them. When I was in the Philippines, a lot of times I had little old ladies that would walk up to me and start speaking Tagalog to me because
Mm,
it looked like I belonged there. So
wow.
I don't know how a 6'2", 200 some pound dude looks like he belongs there, but the little old ladies identify with me and they would literally talk to me in Tagalog, trying to get to know me, smiling and stuff.
Wow. And they
Yeah.
got so many languages in Philippines. Hold on, let's pause for the call.
220 dialects, and I'm trying to learn 3 at the same time.
Wow. Okay,
So
okay.
yeah, because my girl in her province, they speak Ilocano.
Elegano,
And obviously the national language aside for English is Tagalog. But
Tagalog,
then there is a version of Visayan
Visayan.
that's also spoken. So between Ilocano, Visayan, and Tagalog are the 3 languages I'm jumping back and forth through while I'm talking to the girl that I'm dealing with in the Philippines right now.
Oh my God. Wow. Hold on, let's pause for the call real 1 second. Let me read the comments. We got Blog Tripping in here talking about Brazil made him cry. Hey, Brazil. Oh
Like
my
like
God.
DR made you cry. I guess Brazil
Hey,
made him cry.
hey, but see the reason why it had me, that was my first time going international. I did go to Mexico at 17 years of age, but it's different driving versus your first flight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so Block tripping. I definitely love Brazil as well. Um, I wish I caught all these trips on camera. I was, I was, I was not. Hold on one second. Hey, yo, bro, I'm on live right now. Um, yep. I don't know if you might could jump in live. I mean, jump. Okay, cool. Sorry. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
It's all good.
Yeah, my
You
apologies.
over there tearing shit up on your live, bro.
Golly. Damn.
Did you break your phone?
No, I don't think so. I'm hoping not.
Man, take that phone out that holder, bro.
I
Don't even
I,
worry
I,
about
I
that.
just
Yeah.
I just did. Let me make sure it's still clickable. Oh man.
Yeah, take your phone up out of there. You did that just to try to go on the live with me, but you don't need to do that.
Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Oh
So
cool. Yeah, yo guys, sorry we're definitely allowed to make sure it's good. Um, yeah, so yeah, vlog tripping. You cried when you went to Brazil. Um, I should have cried when I left Brazil,
he
but
said I should have.
I
Why?
should have.
Yeah.
I
What
should
you
have.
mean you should have?
Oh, okay. So like when when I got to Brazil, oh, and shout out and rest in peace to Yusef Latif, uh, one of the greatest men I know. You know, much respect, just like Ronan Travels. You know, very intelligent man. Um, so I hope you're resting well in heaven, man. Um, yeah, so definitely when I flew into Sao Paulo, it was amazing. Like it literally took my breath away in a good way. And I met up with this Brazilian woman and I rode the bus with her from Sao Paulo to Rio. Left Rio. I mean, got to Rio. I stayed in Rio what 2 weeks, and I had a friend of mine that invited me to uh, Salvador, Bahia.
Mhm.
And so, me not knowing anything, I trusted him. Went on ahead, flew Salvador, Bahia. Got there, had the greatest time of my life. I did not know how to say this.
What year was this that you went to Salvador Bahia?
This was 2017.
Okay. Okay.
This 2017.
I'm thinking
And
it's changing by now since the last time you've been there.
yeah,
Because I hear good and bad things now from
yeah,
Salvador Bahia.
not to date myself, but wow, I had a great time. I think I paid a bit more for my accommodations than I was supposed to.
You paid that gringo tax.
I did, I did,
Hmm.
but see, how to say this? If I had have trusted her a little bit more, I was trying to negotiate my time with several different people. And so by that happening, I stepped out on my own and went to find a place that I could
I
have
got
to
what you're
myself.
saying.
Yep.
You had somebody and you had some insider help, and then you wanted to step away and be a little greedy, and you
Yes,
wind up screwing yourself for going to another place that the other girl didn't know about.
yes, yes. And
So that's
so,
without going into details. I already picked up on that.
oh
By the
yeah.
way, shout out to Milano. Milano's an old school traveler. He
Shout out
said something about
Milano.
he said something about Sao Paulo. It's like New York City in Brazil.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Wow, I definitely want to have Milano on. You know, I had reached out to Ronan, great guy. I appreciate him coming on with me. You know, OG. I'm learning from everybody, but yeah, definitely. Sao Paulo is just like New York. Santo Domingo just like New York. It has a heavy New York influence, and guys from New York. Oh my God.
Watch yourself now. You're gonna be bumping into a lot of these New Yorkers, man. You better watch yourself. You
No,
about to
no, no,
say
no, no,
something?
no, 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 no. Not saying anything bad. What I'm saying is the New York crowd. They 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 can kind of switch up some financial waves
Ah,
that maybe us other travelers may be trying to keep down. You know, so
hmm. So
but
you say they travel haters?
no, 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 not travel haters. What I'm saying is they cause a little financial bump that I don't think should be there. I think it should be a smooth financial end for everybody.
So you saying they trying to finesse their way through life?
No, not at all. Not finessing, but
I
for
think you
the
need to
rent.
stop while you ahead. I'm messing with you, but you need to stop while you ahead, bro.
Okay, 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 okay. I got you. I got you. I gotta figure that. Gotta figure that. But no, definitely shout out to New York, man. I remember my first time in New York. I definitely enjoyed myself. I went into Canada through Buffalo.
Hmm.
You know, so
Oh, I've
definitely.
gone to Canada through Buffalo as well because I used to live in upstate New York.
Oh,
My mom
nice.
married an Italian New Yorker before we moved to the Midwest. So
Oh, wow.
definitely been Niagara Falls and going up into Canada through Niagara Falls area and all that.
Right.
Vlog Trippin said something. He was supposed to link up with a brother before he passed. So I think the one you said, rest in peace. He actually
Yes.
knows him and was
Yes.
supposed to link up with him.
Except YT, I was supposed to have linked back up with him, and never got a chance to do that. Me and him used to talk quite a bit. I mean, me and him, we would make at least 4 hours for each other every time we talk, and we just sit there and just shoot and everything. When I went out there, um, against his better advice, that's how I ended up going with the chick to Rio on the bus.
Oh, let's
Against
talk
his,
about that real quick because I'm an older guy.
okay.
What is up with you younger guys when we actually give you solid advice from an OG that
Okay,
y'all
so
got to bump your head up against a goddamn wall a whole bunch of times
no, so
before you learn that lesson?
so me, I like to follow my intuition. He told me I should spend
What intuition did you have at that age versus an OG that already knew?
um my my spirit, my intuition told me
Your
that
spirit and your intuition.
my
Okay,
spirit
keep talking.
my spirit and my intuition told me it was okay to follow her to Rio on the
Yeah,
bus.
I think that was your loins and your lust. Had nothing to do with your spirit and your intuition.
So I
Let's get
follow
that
her.
right.
So I follow her there. Like I said, I spent a couple weeks there in Rio, and
Mhm.
then I shout out to South uh, Bahia. I shout out to Bahia, and that's when I ran into my trouble trying to
Mhm.
negotiate my time with several different females. You know,
Yeah,
so
greed. Greed to
great.
get you in trouble all the time, man.
You
Greed
know,
and money, greed with women, trying to think you just feeling yourself too much and wild oats just running wild.
man. Hey, when I say I was in the splash zone, psh, psh, I kept running into splash zones, and uh, Lord forgive me, but those splash zones they blow your mind up.
Especially in certain countries where they can geek you up real good. Have you thinking you are the king of all kings
Oh my
of
God.
Wakanda up in this bitch?
I'm trying to tell you, you got both ankles locked out. You know.
Okay, we don't need the visuals for YouTube. I know you already monetized, I think. So, you know, you
Oh
don't
yeah.
want to jeopardize that,
Oh yeah, definitely
you
not,
know.
definitely not. Yep. So definitely, guys, you want to find one solid female, one
Stop,
solid woman.
stop the cap. You're not gonna stay with one female. How old are you?
I am in my mid 30s now. I'm
Yeah, you
34.
ain't done yet. You still not gonna stay with one chick. So stop the cap. I'd rather you tell them exactly how to move than just lie to them and say, now you know at 30 years old, you only need one. Now I can say that and they can believe me. You can't say that. Okay, you need to
Oh
be
my
more
god.
truthful when you say things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, okay,
One or
yeah,
two, space them out, maybe a week
space
or
them
two
out.
apart from each other. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And and see the thing about it, these guys, when let's say if you do meet a woman online, which I have met a lot of my female friends online, either via Facebook or a dating website. Uh, when you get there, you see so many beautiful women, and you're literally like this all day, and you think, what have I gotten myself into? When you had one on your arm, and
Did you trade out a good one for a bad one because you were being greedy? Admit it. Don't lie. Shame the devil. Because you were
okay,
already regretting it. It sounded like you were regretting the change off. You're like, damn, I already had one. And I sit here and messed that one up for this other one.
okay, this is where I messed up in Bahia.
Mhm.
Um, the the one I was dealing with initially that got me set up correctly and made sure I wasn't overpaying for anything. She was
Which
great.
was a good one.
Was a
And you
good one.
threw her away.
No, no,
I'd
no, no, no.
agree.
I didn't throw her away.
I'm
I
surprised she
just
didn't
changed
check herself out after you left.
she did not have any children. Now the second one I bumped into, she had a child, and so dealing with her, she actually ended up bringing her child to the room that I got, and I personally overpaid for the room. Um, and the child, how to say this, proceeded to get on my ever loving nerves.
Well, hell, who goes to another country to have to deal with another man's kid?
I didn't know this. Her
You
mother was
okay? Let
supposed.
let 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 let's stop for a second. We're gonna analyze you for a little bit, just for a second. Okay. What we talked about offline before we got on live. Your habit of who you dated. You carried that habit down to a whole nother country. And you did exactly what you did in America down there. You went for the single mom.
I wasn't trying to.
You still went to your comfort zone.
Okay. So the thing that turned me on about her,
Oh
I'm
Lord.
not really a chess guy. I'm more of a bottom half lover individual.
Uh-huh.
But she had such an amazing top half, it caught me off guard.
That's a good way of explaining it's amazing top half.
An
Okay.
amazing top half, it caught me off guard, and I should have kept my first situation because her mother was supposed to have kept the child, but when she found out that she was with an American guy instead of being with the person she said she was gonna be with, her mother said, "Come get your child," and then the child was stuck with us and proceeded to rummage the room. Oh,
To basically wild out.
yes, so I had to pay additional because number
Oh
one,
no. See, the minute she said my kid gotta come, well, then you gotta go where your mama said you need to go. You need to let them go. But again, this is hindsight being 2020. This
oh
is
yeah,
after the whole
already
thing, and
done.
you telling the story is already done. But in any future shenanigans, anytime a baby got to be involved and it's got to come back to where you at, even though you just invited her and she lost her child care, That's when she loses her reason of being there.
Exactly. Wow. So the thing about it is, the child actually broke a lamp, and
Oh hell no.
that's where the overpaying
Because
came.
they can charge you a phenomenal fee because you don't know if that's a classic old school lamp, if
Oh
something
no,
new,
it was just a
something
regular
dirt cheap.
lamp.
You could think that, but some people could lie and say, "Oh, that was vintage," even though it looked normal. That was a vintage old lamp that was passed down through the generations to our house, and we just put it there.
I came out of pocket like $60 for the lamp. I don't even think the lamp cost that much.
Thank you.
but
Thank you. Yeah, it did not cost that much.
it did not cost that much. So in addition, and so when I was trying to let her go, she wanted to stick to me like this. The
Of
other
course,
girl, the other girl, she
because now you're taking care of her and her baby. Why wouldn't she want to stick to you like that?
so the other girl, she allowed me some breathing room. I told her I wanted to roam by myself. She said, "Okay, just be safe. If you need me, I'll come." But she was an older woman, and that's another thing too. I usually deal with older women when I'm
Yeah,
out.
again, an American habit that you took down there.
Yes,
This is what we talk about. A lot of American men, they go to these countries and they take their mentality of what they did in America and the way they moved in America and they want to replicate it in a foreign country.
but this is the reason why I went for it. Why I used to go for it, because number one, usually the older women have that nonsense out of the system, and they're going to look
No,
out.
that's just a fine art. They got it down to a fine art.
Oh,
Now
okay.
they can read you. They can read the dude. They know what he's gonna do because they've been there, done that with every dude they possibly have been with up to that point. So they don't learn the game. They know it's a fine art. They know how to pull things out of you. They know how to give you enough space to hang yourself, come back in and be the woman savior. You know what I'm saying? They know how to do all those things. Now they just playing you like a damn violin at that point.
Oh man. Wow. So yeah, this is all travel experience, guys.
Yeah.
Cause you're never gonna get wise as Ronan if you don't go through these things. I know quite a bit myself, but guess what? Ronan has even more experience than me. I know you look at me like, oh, you've been to 22 countries, but Ronan's been to 24, and he has more time in than I do. So that's his part. That's his
But
part.
again, it's like I said, I have sons your age.
Yes, sir.
There's nothing my sons can tell me that I ain't never already experienced. I'm looking at them like, yo, man, this is about to happen to you. Boom, 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 boom. And I'll tell them. And I'll step back and watch it happen if they don't prevent it. And they'll come back and say, everything you said was going to happen. It happened exactly the way you said. I told you.
Yep. And that's why you always have to pay attention to the elders, guys. You can't be like, homie, this is my day. That's foolishness. Pay attention to what the elders have to say, guys, because they've already been through it.
All right. So throw another question at me because, again,
Oh,
you supposed to be interviewing me.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. What what initially got you into traveling and to want to continue traveling till today?
The biggest thing is when my mother got me into traveling at a young age. Like I told you, my experience offline, how I learned how to swim. That my mom always had us on a plane, especially on vacation time. We were in Puerto Rico, we had gone to Jamaica, Bahamas, the Virgin Islands. My mom had us in the islands all the time for holidays and different things like that. So
Mm.
she loved to travel to a certain age. And then she left us at home with grandma and she went by herself. She said she started saying, I need a break from y'all now. But no, I had that. And then so when I joined the Marine Corps, it was nothing. You know, a lot of people get separation anxiety. That was shit to me, you know. Going to the Marine Corps, traveling all over the world and doing the things I need to do, that was easy to me because I was already used to moving. You know, my mom was a foster child. So even with that, we never had a structured family to where we felt like we had to stay in a certain area because of family reunions, this, that, and the other thing. So even in as I was growing up, every 2 to 3 years, if we didn't move out of the state, we moved different cities. You know, so my mom had this, like, I used to call her a little gypsy because every 3 to 5 years we were moving somewhere. Until we got into high school, we moved all the time.
Wow.
And that happened each time she got married. We would move. Like I told you, she married the Italian guy and moved to the Midwest. That's how we got to Kansas, because he joined some kind of Christian rock band. He was a musician.
Wow.
So we wound up landing in Kansas out of that whole situation because that's where the band was located at, even though they traveled all over the country. And he met my mom in upstate New York and moved her to the Midwest.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? So even though it was every 2 to 5 years, we were moving somewhere.
Nice.
You know, so by the time I got in the Marine Corps, move, no problem. Where are we going next? Get on a ship and deploy? No problem. Where are we going? You get what I'm saying? I had no problem. I had nothing to do with it, you know, oh, I got permanent roots here and I gotta stay here close to my family. Didn't know him because my mom was a foster child.
Wow.
Or so we thought. She was actually stolen by her foster parents. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, so you know, it was easy for me to move around even in the United States. And so, you know, I got married a couple times. First time 7 years, second time almost 10 years. And once I went through this last divorce, went through my process of healing, therapy, you know, and all the things I needed to do. And I started reassessing some of the things I had neglected, but I also enjoyed, which was traveling again, you know. And then beside for traveling, like I said, when I was younger, I used to have the old ladies walk up to me and talk Tagalog to me in the Philippines. And I knew their traditional values were still old school traditional values. The things I look for in women. I like the Filipino women. They are a variety of beautiful women. And then with the armed forces being there, there's so many different mixes of Filipinos. Matter of fact, Miss Universe right now is a mixed Filipino chick. She's black and Filipino, and she's Miss Universe 2023.
Hopefully she changes up the whole mix of the Philippines now.
So, you know, even with that, you know, they mix well with other races. So there's so many different variations beside for the languages, so many different variations of Filipinos, depending on where they're at and where they're from, you know, that you can run into some very great mixed looking women. Beside for the culture, the beliefs, you know, the traditional values, all those things, you know, that's what made me want to start traveling again. And obviously that was my first choice of places to want to go. But I had been to Mexico plenty of times, Cancun, Tulum, you know, the Yucatan. I've gone all through up and down, you know, I've done the whole West Coast thing because I lived in California for 30 plus years. So I'd already done all the way down to Cabo and all those things, you know, Baja California. Already done the West Coast of Mexico. Then I did the the Gulf Coast side of it with Cancun and all that. So, you know, Philippines is going to be my first place, but I'm still going to travel. I'm just making the Philippines my home port. Now, if I wind up getting with this girl and getting married, then I get to live vicariously through her first time experiences because she has not. This is how I know she don't even have a fucking passport. I walked her through the process of even getting her passport.
Wow.
So she's never been anywhere. So to film that from start to finish of her experiences of traveling, right along with our experiences of growing and building a house and property buying and all the things that a lot of content creators aren't doing.
Yes, sir.
You know, and my mission in life is to talk to the veterans that have stopped traveling, have felt like they're useless. They've already gone through a couple marriages like myself, and unfortunately, veterans have a high rate of self-deletion.
Right,
7 to 20 veterans, and you have family members that are veterans as well, so you know this. 17 to 20 veterans a day off themselves. So part of me in this mission of me doing YouTube is also to let them know, hey, there's other options to where you can feel like you have a mission or you can still belong. And a lot of these guys, when they traveled, were at their most peaceful, even though they were away from their families in the United States.
Peace.
And they just forgotten it. They just forgotten it because they tried to do the right thing with their wives that were here, or their kids. And I've run into so many guys. I'm 100% service connected.
Beautiful.
When it comes to my my veteran status, there's a lot of veterans that were in denial when they first got back. They're so compartmentalized all their feelings and all their emotions from the battles they've been into, everything else. I just had a buddy of mine. He makes over $350K. He's a white guy, very successful guy in a company that we both work for in insurance and financial advising. And his last child just left the house. And some of the things I was talking to him while I was going through my process of getting service connected, he had started experiencing. I said, look, man, I said, I'm telling you, if you don't get into this now, it's going to hit you. Ah, man, I'm fine. I said, okay. Sure enough, he called me about a year and a half ago, said, hey, Alex, you know, my last son left and everybody's in college in this big house that I have in California. Doesn't mean anything to me. I started having nightmares about this, that all those feelings come out because your priority is no longer anything else but you.
Right.
You know, now you got to deal with all those demons and all those nightmares that you never dealt with and you've compartmentalized for years, all come rushing out in different ways and different types of feelings come out. So there's a whole process of getting that off of you, going through therapy, you know, chemical imbalances that from the traumas of you experiencing people that you were close to dying, but you couldn't mourn them because you had to keep moving to do certain things, you know, and you have a uncle that's a Green Beret guy. You have military people that are Marines. So they know what that is to have to compartmentalize losses within their teams that they were dealing with in deployment and not actually having the time to actually mourn those guys, you know, but feel guilty because they have survivor's guilt.
Yes.
I didn't get hit. And a lot of us, I'm telling you, we have death packs. If we're torn up to a certain point, put a bullet in me. I don't want to go back a burden to my family. You're talking about alpha type of guys that are physically fit, always used to doing everything and always being looked up to, being capacitated to a point where they would be or feel like they were a burden to somebody else. How many guys you think would deal with that? Just like a Ronin or a samurai warrior, when he becomes useless or can't serve his master, what does he do? He creates Harikiri. Here's the point of why I call myself Ronin. Ronins are wandering warriors. Anybody that's in the military that's now separated from the military now does not have a master or a commander. They are still trained as warriors. We're not deprogrammed from that. We just don't have a master to serve.
Wow.
So that's the whole idea behind the name Ronin. But at the end of the day, these 17 to 20 people are offering themselves like what? Samurai warriors with no mission.
Yes, sir.
And feeling lost.
And
so here's the correlation behind my name. If anybody's listening that didn't really understand why I chose Ronin as a name, because I have a military nickname. My military nickname was Frosty. My last name is Foster. But because of my personality when I was in, they were like, damn, man, you fucking cold. And Foster became Frosty. Aside from this big ass, light skinned black dude that had this solid, cold ass heart when it came to doing certain things, basically to get my mission done.
Yes, sir.
They kept on saying, you're cold. Well, cold turned into Frost. And then my last name became Frosty. So my military nickname was Frosty. Ronin is adopted based on the mentality of what we are as veterans after you get out of the military.
See, I might have a little bit of a perverted mind. I thought they called you Frosty, got you a frost in the cheeks.
No. No, I was doing that too. But no, that's not how I got that nickname. No, that would be a whole nother kind of nickname. Yo, that's damn near close to corn porn. That's a corn type of nickname. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man. Man, hey, shout out my boy Frost Light Skin.
Shit. But no, I've always done that. So, that is something that is a big mission of mine, is getting guys to acknowledge that they need to control, not necessarily control, but release some of the compartmentalized traumas that they have experienced throughout life, whether in the military, even as being raised by a single mother. You traumatized as a young man.
Oh yeah,
Sorry, you've been coddled or you've been traumatized, one of the two or both.
man. I even coming from a full family background, the mother and the father, it's not the Huxtable show. It's not the Bill Cosby show. I know they have
Mhm.
tarnished his name now, but I have friends that think I grew up like the Huxtables, and I
Right,
tell them, no, it wasn't perfect. You looking at it like you don't have a father, but I'm here to tell you, just because you have a father in the house, that don't mean it's perfect. Dad makes mistakes. Makes mistakes. Like, it's not a TV show.
right,
It's not scripted. It's life.
right,
You
right.
know. And like I was telling you earlier, my father has 25 children. So
Woo, daddy wasn't a rolling stone. That
my
motherfucker was in a sports car knocking them down.
exactly. Hey, but that's nothing though. My great grandfather had 60.
Shut up. 60 kids.
Yes, sir.
Man,
And
your family tree is established for eons.
man, my mother, her mother, my grandfather and grandmother, my mom's parents, they had 11 children together.
Wow.
Yep. So my mother's side, the oldest is what, 80. My dad, no, I'm sorry, the oldest was 83 when she died. My dad was 80. So you see the age difference. My dad was
Mhm.
like 45, 46 when he had me. My mother was in her mid 30s when she had me. So I had older parents,
Right, right.
so I didn't grow up my mom being 18 years older than me, my dad being 18 years older than me. So
Mhm.
growing up with older parents, it was what it was. We it's how to say it, like, you can appreciate having a parent that's more established versus somebody who's not established mentally and financially.
Mhm.
But I feel sometimes they don't give you the room for you to grow into yourself. They want you to be an exact carbon copy of who they are.
True.
Yes, sir.
True. Very true.
When you're 18, when you're 20, are you really thinking of your child being an exact carbon copy of you? Because you are mistake prone at that age, usually. You're going to hit every pothole. It don't matter if you have the greatest advisors in the world. You're probably still going to hit just about every pothole you can hit. You know, um,
Facts.
yes,
Until
sir.
you learn how to avoid them.
Until you
And
learn how
those are
to.
your life lessons.
Yes, sir.
How
Most.
to avoid the potholes in the road as you go down it.
Yes, sir. So my thing is, I just thank God I had my dad up until the age I had him. My uncle, like I said, the Green Beret, he's always been there to advise me and everything, and he has his own children. He's going through his own thing with a divorce from a foreign woman, a German lady that he met in the military, got her pregnant, married her, brought her back to the U.S., dramatically changed her life. Um, I'm not going to get very very deep into his situation, but uh, I honestly don't see how my uncle being such a nice person got involved with such a
Because we like fire.
yes,
We like to get burnt. We like spicy women. We
yes,
want what we don't actually are used to. We like the opposite attract type of thing.
right. And see, by my uncle being a nice guy, the women that treated him bad first were black women, quote unquote. And I'm not making this a race thing. I'm just saying
They saw that they could take a advantage and
yes,
use it
sir.
as an opportunity instead of a blessing.
And so then he decided to switch over to women of a less pigmented skin tone.
Jesus,
Hey,
trying to
I'm
be
trying
all
not to get
PC. You trying
demonetized,
to
so
be
I'm
all
trying
PC. You over there trying to be all PC about it now.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Seeing him even to the day. Matter of fact, my uncle is 60 years old. He's with a 70-year-old Filipino right now.
Hold on. Say that again.
My uncle is 60 years old with a 70-year-old Filipino.
Wow. But I mean, Filipinos hold their age really well, depending on the Filipino. There are some
But
Filipinos that you could not guess they were in their 40s and they still look like they 20 something, almost 30. So it just
that's
depends.
true. That's true, but she's very Americanized.
Oh shit, no.
Yes. When I say Americanized, I mean it to the umpteenth degree.
Oh, so she one of them big time. I'm at the bingo parlor or doing whatever, spending money and running her mouth and being a pain in the ass, really.
Yep. So with that being said, there is a dark side to Filipinos,
Mm-hmm.
Filipinas when they come to the States or any Western country, where the Western countries can hold a deep dark influence over them. And the thing about it is, when Filipinos come to the States, they have a support system. We don't have a support system usually as Americans, as Westerners, you
Oh
know.
yeah. Oh yeah. There's like Chinatown. There's a Filipino area in a lot of cities.
Yep.
San Diego had a big one.
Oh
Right
yeah.
there in San Diego. Oh my God. There's a huge area for Filipinos. Filipino bars, all that shit.
I met a guy here. He's black and Filipino. He's a bus driver. I don't even know if I still got his number or not. I need to reach out to him. But he's here in the San Diego area. And he was telling me that if I wanted to find a good Filipino woman, I should go out with him one night. And I was like, I hear you, but we're in America.
He said, I ain't trying to deal with that shit here.
Yeah, right. And so I was telling him, I was asking him, does he have his passport? He was like, no, I've never been anywhere besides TJ. I'm like, oh my God. Well, I'm gonna need you to get that passport. I'm gonna need you to at least go visit your country that your bloodline is from,
Right.
And because I would tell him, even just with the procreative nature, that it's different over there. Like they're
Oh yeah.
they're
Traditional values and all the different things that go on there. What they celebrate.
Yeah. I wasn't referring to that. I was just talking about their inner procreative nature is
Oh yeah.
ironclad, like
Woo, Lord Jesus. Yeah.
Right. I don't even think we did that long enough. We should be woo.
They just don't know, and I'm not trying to promote. But I'm just
Exactly.
saying, you got some very active, imaginative women there that ain't afraid to do things. Let's put it that way.
Right. You don't get none of that. No. Oh, I don't. Oh, I can't.
I want to. It's I want to try if they haven't.
Right. Oh my God. And shout out to Cambodia.
I wanted to go there. Now it might be a little too late for me. I might not be able to go because I might be involved. So But if that doesn't work out before I get involved with anything else, I know a Cambodian chick that hit me up. She's an IG model, but she
Wow.
hit me up before she became popular. She does Fashion Nova modeling and things for Shein. But before she blew up, she had contacted me. But she was already leaning on that money thing. You know what I'm saying? She wanted a pair of shoes or this and that's a chick. No, I ain't doing that. But she's bad. She's a baddie. And that skin tone, that nice like caramel colored skin.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God, that caramel color skin. And then the fact that the hair down below can get
All
long.
real. Yes.
Oh my God. And
wait a minute. What?
No,
Oh no, bro. No, you didn't just say that. I thought you were talking about the hair on their head. I thought you were talking about the hair. Pause.
no, the hair down below.
No, Lord,
Yeah.
no, Jesus,
Ooh.
no.
Man,
That needs the hair just need to be trimmed at all times. I'm sorry, brother. I am not trying to braid the hairs down there. I'm not trying to see it peek out from the edges of the panties. I'm not trying to see all that.
It was amazing when
he said it was amazing.
It
to
was
see it all
like,
well groomed and laying there like a blade of grass. I'm like, no,
God, you can literally twirl it around your fingers.
No,
that's how long it can
that
be.
is not sexy. No,
I love it. See me.
Ooh.
I'm a natural loving guy. I love natural
Stop
hair.
your lying.
Yes, natural fingernails.
Stop. Wait. There's a point of natural and then there's a point of natural. Natural means you ain't putting nothing on natural body odor and all that.
Oh, no.
He said no. Hold up now. Wait
odor.
a minute. Yeah, exactly. You got to fix that. I want my women bathed. I need them smelling good. You know, milk bath every once in a while, some rose water in that bitch. Something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and look, okay. I'm not promoting single motherism, but
yes, you are.
But if you don't have your own child yet on the way, breast milk is the best thing in the world.
You did not just say that on live.
I'm going to go out and say it.
Please don't say that on live. Please don't do that no more. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Right. My bad.
Thank God it's just me watching right now because I think I'm the only one on your live, but it's just is one. Okay. But yeah, there's certain things you just don't want to say, brother. You just don't want to say anything about.
Gotcha.
You know, the punani or the
no, I won't say nothing about it.
Yeah, you just keep that a little quiet. You know, keep that on low. You know, make suggestions like cookies and milk and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, my bad. I thought we were deep enough in the live. I could say something.
Yeah, the algorithm might not pick it up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's oh my God, that's a little too much.
Okay, gotcha. Wow.
Even though obviously I had 4 children, so I know what breast milk is all about. Sweet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you know, there's been times where you know, Daddy had to pull up to the table. Daddy had to sample the milk before the kids did. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Ooh, man. Hey, and I'm a greedy guy when it comes to that.
Oh hell no. Okay, stop. That's enough. You just push it a whole nother level.
Okay. Wow.
All right, man. So you know, I don't want to go too long, but at the same time, how you feel?
I feel great, man. This is how I would call it my first real respectable live.
Okay.
Like this is me heading in the direction that I want to go. Okay. So yes, I definitely feel.
Well, let your people know there's more to come.
Yes.
And we're gonna end this live, but I'm gonna sit and talk offline instead of talking online about this. So if you hit the end button, I'll still be here like we were chatting offline before, but end your live.
Okay.
So give your closing comments and whatever things to look forward to for the channel and all that, and we'll.
All right, guys, we're gonna end the live now. We're gonna get closing comments from Ronin Travels. Take it away, sir.
Well, I mean, this is your live. I just came in to help. It's a pleasure to talk with you, JoJo. And I know you go by other things, but I'm gonna just say
KBJ
that.
Fly, which is
Right,
country boy Josh Fly, like
right,
flies an airplane.
right. All I ask is if anybody's listening on the replay, subscribe to the Ronin Travelers. I'm trying to push to get to my first 1,000 subscribers, new channel, and trying to get monetized. Hopefully, before I get on this trip in October to the Philippines, I'd like to be monetized before then. But I have my 4,000 hours, so I'm only just pushing for subscribers at this point. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, if you like the content, please subscribe to my channel. And again, KBJ Fly's channel.
Yes, sir.
And looking forward to what you bring in the future.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Got a lot more to come. So much more to come, guys. So yeah, this like I said, this is my first respectable live. I call it respectable live. Shout out to Ronin Travels, man, for believing in me, coming on, putting some validation.
Some technical services back in the background to get your camera up.
Yep, most definitely. All kind of technical services, you know, and we still got some more to come. You know, I'm here in Tijuana getting my training in before I take big trips. So big trips are coming, but I will be more technical savvy. Thanks to Mr. Ronin, and thanks to other YouTubers as well. But he's definitely the one taking the time right now, putting in the time with me. We're out, guys. Much appreciated. All right, Mr. Ronin.
No, I'm not hanging up. Just hit the end of the live.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.